Yesterday we did the master page, and let's go and do some stuff on this subscription part. Let's run there. Okay, so let me start the server, pass server node index.js, and I'll make sure the live server is started. Okay, so live server is started. Now I'll go to React one. I'll start the React one. So I'm thinking to do it on the GitLab. So I'll delete this one and I'll redo in the GitLab. Okay, so let's see, delete this repository. Okay, let's go to GitLab. New project. Maybe I can name it all. Just I'll give all, because everybody of us will contribute. Let's make this private so that no other person outside the repo is able to access it. Okay, initialize repository with readme, and I'll create a project. Okay, so this project is created. Now let's add the collaborators. Where is that collaborators? Okay, invite member. Select the role, developer. So let's see who has. So those who are in the chat, can you put again in the chat, in this free conference call chat, what is your username or email address? Because those who are in the class, I will only put their names. Okay, I'll put Anand one. Okay, 1 second, I'll go slowly put ACHAWL ACHAWLAIN @ okay, developer, no expiration. Okay, I'll put another one now. Okay, let's copy. Not able to copy. I don't see Shweta's email here. Are you here? in this GitLab, Shweta?
Yes, sir.
What is your username?
Shweta Virupaksha.
Pardon?
Shweta Virupaksha.
Let me add this one. Rakesh Pandey, Sonu Singh. Not getting. Copying is not correct here. Okay, design. I'm not able to copy properly. Design 9N2. See, it's so difficult to copy. Because okay, so I'll invite you. You have to just accept it. Okay, so I invited all of you who has given me the username or password or email. So you need to, those who don't have the username or email, go to gitlab.com, create your account, give me your username or email so that I can add you here. Once I will add you, you can also commit the code. So just I'll tell you now what to do. Yesterday I did GitHub. Let's delete that one. I will open new folder. So let's put in the GitLab. I'll create a new folder, all, and I'll select this folder. And let's grab the URL. So we need to get this URL. So there are two URL. One is SSH and one is HTTPS. Just take this HTTPS one. Copy this one, and we'll go in the terminal. So there are two ways. In Windows, we can do through command line also. We can do through git auto git also. So here I will say, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so once you are in the terminal, I have to run the command git clone, and I will put the URL which I got from git, and you have to put the dot. So this is one way of the cloning it, right? So let's do it. So once I clone it, you will see one README file is there. So I'll just remove the content of the README file and I'll commit it for you. Okay, I'll remove. Don't touch this README file. Now I will create a folder here with my name, and everything which I do, I will do inside this folder. So everything you also do, you should do in your folder. And if you, let's say if I commit something, and if you don't understand your, code, you can go into my folder and you can see the code also in my folder. So I will also create one file in my folder called as readme.txt. Okay, so once I have created my folder and file, I'll just go in the command line. Now what things I have to do? I have to do three things. So what things I have to do? I have to say, first line is this one. I will just put it here so that first we have to clone it, and then whenever we do any change, whenever we add or do any change in the file system, I have to do following. So what I have to do? I have to say first git add and dot. That means all the new files will be added into the git. Those who don't know git, they will understand slowly what is git is there. Just follow this command. And the second line will be git commit -am. You put your message, whatever you want to say. Let's say you are fixing the login button, so you say login button. Just I'm telling you example. And then you press enter. Okay, then after these two commands, so this commit will be in your local machine. It will not go into the server. So now you have to send the details to the server. So before you send things to the server, you have to run git pull first to get the data, and then you have to say git push. Like this, whenever you add new things or change the file system, you have to follow these steps. Now since I added these two folder and one file, I will follow all the steps. First I will go git add, and the first one, top one, has to be run only one time. It has not to be repeated any time again. After the first time, you have to follow these commands. So since I added the file, I will run the first line here in my folder. Make sure you are in the all folder, git add. Then I'll run the second line. Now the message here will be different. Login button was an example. I will say adding my folder and readme file. Okay, so I commit this one. After this, I will run the third line, that is git pull. One second. So this git add is everywhere in the Mac also. You have to use git add. Git add means whenever you have a new file, you can use this command. You know, git add dot means whatever files you have, all the files will be added. Let's say tomorrow you don't want to commit any file, then you don't put the git add dot. If you want to commit all the files which you have created or changed, this generally don't put the change file. This generally put only the added file, and change file will automatically go with the git commit. Okay. So generally, don't put everything in the C drive. Create a folder web. See my structure. I'll show you my structure. 1 second. So I will never put in the C drive. C drive has lot of things which are not related to me. I don't see. This is my C drive. This is my C drive. I don't want to touch all these files. I create one folder which is specific to me. Okay, so just don't avoid putting anything on the C drive directly. Create a web folder. Inside web folder, you'll see I created a GitLab folder. And in the GitLab folder, you can have multiple folders. So right now I created all folder. So just make web and GitLab and all, whatever you want, you can do it. Never put directly in the C drive. Okay. So all these steps you have to follow it, even if it's a Mac, Linux or Windows. All 3 steps are same. Then you have to put the git push. I just pulled it. Now I'll do push. Now why you have to do git pull? The reason is someone else has committed any file. We can get that file before we push it. If you directly push it, and if someone has put the file in the git, you won't be able to push it. So you need to follow all these steps. And if you don't have any file to add, you can avoid this line. But if you by mistake leave it and you have created new file, then it will be not added in the git. So it is safe side. You can, this is optional. You can put it, use it anytime, and it is not harmful. Even if you have added it or not added it, you can use this line. This is for all Mac, Linux or Windows, all these things. But Windows has one more utility, Toto as Git. So tomorrow, this is my all folder. I can right click it, and this is the Toto as Git. I can pull it like here. I click here, pull, and I will get this screen. I can say okay, then the pull will happen. Pull is happening here. I can directly do without typing anything. So if I want to add it also, I can go here and use the add button to use the git add, or I can use the git commit to do the git commit. Whatever we were doing through command line, we can do through interface also. I will show you this also in a bit. Okay, let me show you this also. So if I want to do any change, for example, okay, let me minimize this. So let me add one more folder, for example, React. Directly folder will not go into the Git. We need to create a file inside it. Let's say I create readme.txt. Okay, so I added one file here in the React folder. Okay, now I will go here in my folder structure. I will right click it, and first I have to do the git add. So I will use this add button. So it's saying this file was added new. So check this box and click OK to add it. I added this file. Then I will right click it and I will do commit. So when I do commit, here I will see what files are changed, and here I can write the message. Added React folder and readme.txt. Yeah, I commit it. I will click the commit button in the bottom. Okay, before pushing, I need to call the pull. So I will not push it, the changes now. I have to first pull it. So I'll go to git Toto and I will pull it. And I'll say okay. Okay, I pulled it. Now I will run the push. So I'll say git Toto push. And I'll say okay. So all the commands which I was doing through terminal, now I did through the command line. So you have to follow all these steps, all these 4 steps whenever you do any changes. Okay, so when you go into a company, many people will work on this file. For example, this readme file. You will also edit this file. I will also edit this file. So then, when you will try to push it, you will get conflict. That part I will show you how to resolve that conflict. Okay, right now just do these 4 commands. Once you are good in this one, after 1 month we will meet again to see how to do the conflicts. Okay, so either you have option to do the through terminal, or you have option to do through this one. Whatever you want, you can do. Okay, so today we will not touch this folder structure, but after we are done with the current master project, all new projects we will do it here. Okay, let's close this now for now. Okay, let's try to go ahead and complete this one. Okay, so I started the React, I started the parse server. Now, subscription open is there. So whenever something happens, subscription open will call. We don't really need the open one except to know that subscription is opened. So this is just for information to you that the subscription is opened. This is only for information purpose that subscription is opened. Okay, we don't have to do anything. Even this is just the knowledge that console.log we do that subscription is opened. This part also is not needed now, but we need to call somewhere else when we want to close the subscription. Okay, so right now this one is not needed for now. Okay, now let's go to the create one. So whenever something new is created, we need to add that. The object will come here and we need to add that in the results, and we need to update the count. Same thing will happen with the enter. Enter means based on your query, the new record has been added. So create and enter. In both cases, we need to add the results and we need to update the count. Next will be update. Update means we don't have to increase the count. We need to modify the results. Whatever new thing has come, updated thing has come here. And when someone deletes the object, we call the delete one. And someone leave the query. That means if yesterday I showed you what leave is. So leave and delete both will delete the record from the result and reduce the count of to 1. 1 will be reduced. So these things we need to follow. Okay, so let's try to do things. So what I will do, I have to create one function for the create part. I have to use same function for the enter part, and for the update part I have to create another function, and for leave and delete I have to call another function. So 3 functions I have to create which will do different jobs. So for example, I will do first function which will say create record, and this will take some object here, obj. Like this I will create second function called as update record, and this one I will take delete record. So I have to call this create record here in the create part, and I will pass object which has come. This create record will also be called in the enter one, because enter and create are almost same thing in perspective of the functionality. Then I will call the update record on the update part. I will pass the object, and next will be the delete record. Delete record will be called on the leave and delete. Here I will pass the object, which record I want to delete, and same thing for the delete one. Okay, so we created 3 functions and we call 3 functions based on the functionality which we are seeing here. So let's now concentrate only on the create part and try to understand the create thoroughly before we go to update and leave. So object will come. This is the only one record. This is the one record. So when object will come, we need to update the count. So let's update the count first immediately because we know count will be updated to one more. So I will call the set state, and here I will say st. I will return. I will take the previous object, and I need to use the count. I need to update the count. Count will be state.count plus 1. Or I'll say st.count. Whatever st.count is there, st.count plus 1. Because this st is nothing but the state. I don't want to call state directly here. Since I am inside this inner function, I will use this st. So I'll take st.count. Whatever count was there, I will add 1 to it. Now we have the results in the array. We need to update the results here. So I will say results. So we can take this array previous result. I will take previous result. Previous result is st.results. Maybe I can say st.results, and I will push the new object. That is this object. So what we are doing, results will be whatever current results we have. Okay, whatever current results we have, we will add object here. Okay, so putting null here sometimes it does not make sense, because if I put null and then this is the array, so it will not work properly. So let's make the default value as an empty array. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are taking the previous count, adding 1 and updating this count. And for the results, we are taking the previous results, whatever results we have, and we append the object here. We push the object here like this. So whatever results will be there, one object will be pushed here. Okay, let's try to see if this is working or we are getting some problem. Okay, let's check this one. Okay, so we are seeing the only 2 records. Let's see if I put condition. Okay, I will remove this condition. I will remove this condition right now. I'll just use a blank. Okay. So let's try to put this object. Okay. We'll create a new object or new record, and we will see this logic. Whether this logic is working fine. So we are updating the count, and we are also updating the results with this new one. So remember, this new object will come at the bottom. If you want to do sorting based on that new record should come at the top, then you can use this object before this one and then put all the results, right? This one. Or another way is, once you get the results, you sort on the JavaScript side here on the front end side. So we will see that later on. It's not the objective of today's class, how to do sorting on the JavaScript side. So right now I'm doing the sorting on the back end, like putting this descending one. So many people prefer the sorting on the back end, or you can do on the front end also, or you can mix and match. You can do back end also and front end also. So let's keep this back end logic, and we can do also the front end logic to do the sorting. Okay, now we will see whether this result is getting updated or not. So this is a simple line that whatever results we have to add one object there. Now I'll go to the database and try to add it. Or I will create a new record. We have the create logic also, right? Add. Okay, we will add it with this one, and then we will see what's happening there. So let's try to see what's happening here. Okay, I will add it here, and then we'll see what's happening here. I can see left side also. I can see console.log also. I will say 6th. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so 6th has come, but you will see a lot of 6th has come. Okay, so a lot of 6th has come here. And because of that, we are getting this warning sign. Let's refresh it. Okay, 6th we are getting it, but we get a lot of 6th. Let's try to do again. 7th. So now only one time called. I will tell you why many times was called. We need to fix that part. Okay, but right now I refresh the page, so one time is called. Now you will see the object created is called here, and we are getting here also the updated record here, right? So we are getting the count also is increased to 7. Initially was 6. We got this 7th record. Let's try to add the 8th. Okay, we added 8th one. It came here also. It added here also. We can sort on the JavaScript side also. Later on I will do that part. But at least we get the record here. Whatever record we get here by adding it. Okay, so this was the addition part. Before I go to update part, is there anyone who is not able to understand this line of statement? Okay, Rakesh, you tell me if I have the count, I'm putting st count plus 1. What does this mean, st count plus 1? So this st is nothing but the state value which we have currently here, and we are taking st count, that is whatever count we have, we add 1 here. Is this part clear, this part? And what is this? Rakesh, tell me what is this? What this means? This is the spread operator. A spread operator means whatever state variable we have, this results and count, this should take here and it should be attached here. So in behind the scene, actually we are calling this one results equal to this and count equal to 0. Whatever we have here, they are appearing here behind the scenes. So when I say .st, that means this part, results and count, we are grabbing from here and we are putting it here, and then we update the count with the new count, whatever we want. Let's talk about this results. In the results, since this is the array, so we need to Since this results is an array, so we start with the array and we took the previous array. To take the previous array means state.results. State.results is st.results. St is nothing but the state. We put dot 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 means whatever we have inside this array, we take that and we append it with the new object which we got from the server. So this results is nothing but the different objects in the array. So we put initially empty and as soon as the record comes, we append it with this object. Anyone here is not understanding this part? Okay, I will explain you one more time. This var is an array of objects. For example, object is name equal to A. Okay, another element of the array is name equal to B. Okay, now this is my array. Now I want to add one more element. Okay, so what I can do, I can say new array. So here I will take the previous array, that is this one, dot 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 array. That means we get these two elements and then I can append with new element, that is name equal to C. And then if I check new array, we get three elements, two are this and one we get add on C1. Same thing we are doing here. We already got the array, we append it with the new object. It is same thing. So the create part is very simple. If we get create, I can use it here in the enter part or in the create part. Now let's try to work on the update part. Update part is tricky, little bit tricky. Okay, so we need to consider. Okay, so let's try to see how to do update part. We have array, let's say ID equal to 1, I'm giving some ID. And this ID is 2. Okay, so this array has two elements. Both are objects. One has the ID of 1, another one is ID of 2. Now we need to, let's say the object comes from the server and this is the object which has the ID of 2 and the name is changed from B to C. That is this one we got from the server which has the format of this one. Okay, so we need to see how can we update in the array. So first thing is we need to find the index if it is in the second place or the first place. So we need to find the index. So let's find the index. I will say constant in var index equal to find index is the function, array function, array dot find index, and here we get arrow function. I pass the record and let's see. One second. Okay, I'm here back. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to find the index, and we will use this find index function of the array, where we loop through each array, and this record will be nothing but the each array like this. Okay, I can do console.log. And here, if we find the record, we will return true. So for example, we know this came from the server. Okay, this came from the server, and this is the record which we have for this and this. So we will match the ID this with the what we got from the server. So I can say, let's say server sends the information like this: var object is equal to, this is the information which server is sending me. So here it's saying ID2 and name equal to C. It was B here, now it is C. Now I go through the array and I loop through all one, and if we find this ID is equal to this one, then I will return true. And if it is true, we will get the index. Okay, let's try to do return object.id. So this object.id. If it is equal to record.id, that is this, then it will become true. If this is equal to this, then this expression will become true and we will return true here. And if we are here in this case, object.id, that is 2, is record.id is 1, that is not equal to each other. That means this will be the false. So if we get the false, we will not return the index, and if we get the true, we will return the index here. And here I will check the console.log index is index. So it is first going to the first record, and since it did not find it, it go to the second record and it give me the index of 1, that is this one. If I would have done this as a 1, then you will see it runs the first one and immediately I got the index of 0. If I would have run with the ID 3 which does not exist in this array, then I would got -1. So if we get -1, that means it has not find any record here. Okay, so we need to make sure the index which we receive should not be equal to -1. So similarly, using this one, at least first we need to find the index. Okay, let's use this here. In the update record, we need to, so this object is nothing but this object, so we don't need this object. And this array is nothing but the state.results. I can call state.results here, but putting state.results here is little bit not good. If I want to put state.results here, then I need to move this function away from the use effect. Okay, use effect will cause problem if I try to directly use the state. So instead what I will do, I will call first this state function. Okay, in the state, in the state function, I will write down my logic. Okay, what was the logic? I deleted it. Let me add it again. I will put this my logic inside the set state because I want array. I do not want to access directly this array. I want to access in the set state because we get this array here. I'll say st.results When I say st.results, it's nothing but this one, which we are trying to get this one. We find the index, and once we get the index, console.log index, and if index is not equal to -1, we need to update it. What will happen if index is equal to -1? Then what is the problem? That means we did not find whatever object we got from the server, we did not find in this results. So no match. So we have to only update only when we find index is not equal to -1. That means it should be 0, it should be 1, it should be anything, but not -1. If -1 is -1, that means we don't need to update anything. We did not got any object which is matching in the result set. So first we need to find the index. Okay, let's try to find the index and see what we have to do. We can write down here index. Index is not -1, so we need to update. Okay. So we will see now this console.log. When we try to update, we first try to find the index, and then we write down this console.log that index is not -1, so we need to update. Let's try to see this one. I will refresh the page, and I will try to edit it here. Okay, let's see what will happen when I try to edit it. Okay, let me edit this part or this part. Okay, so we updated, try to update it to number 2, that is this one. Where is that 2? I don't see. Okay, we updated the description. Sorry, let's update this one. Okay, once we try to update second one, it's saying that we updated title to the second one. We get this object, and it tries to loop through, and it got the index of the 6th number, because second number is this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th number. So we got a 6th number index, and it is coming here. Index is not -1, so we need to update it. Okay, we got these 2 lines. That means since we got index not -1, we should update it. And I showed you how to find the index. So this is the way to find the index. We use the find index on the array, and we check if whatever object we get, whether its ID is equal to the whatever array we have, its ID. We match the array ID with the object which we get. And if we get the index, that means the ID is matching, and we get the index. Now once we get the index, we need to update it. We need to update that one. So how to update it, we will do now. Let me try to show you in the console. So we have seen array is equal to, we have this array, and then we try to find the index, and we have the object which is coming from the server. Object will look like this one, ID equal to 2 and name equal to C. We are updating with the C. So this part is B now. We need to change it to C. Okay, so once we find the index, we will console this one. Now after we find the index, we have to see how to update it. Okay, let me run this one. Okay, ST is not defined. So here instead of this array I will use array because we have defined it here, this array here, and I will place. So index is 1. Index is not -1, so we need to update it. So before I go further, everyone clear how to find index from the array and the object? I know you don't have to by heart the things. You need to understand that this array will go through this loop, and every time I check whether this ID is equal to this ID, no. This ID is equal to this ID, yes. And once it is yes, it will give me the index. Is this okay, or you got some problem in understanding this point? Anyone not understanding how to find the index? So, okay, if someone is not clear, you can go through the video again and try to run this program again and again. I will give you in the React chat group, React Telegram group, so that you can walk through it again and again. Now, once we get the index, we need to update this array with this new object. So how we will do it? So I will say, so there is one more functionality of the array which we did long back. It is called array.splice. Splice will take the first parameter as the index which you want to manipulate. Okay. So for example, I want to start with this part. So this is the index 1. So first part we have to tell the index which we have to start. And the second part will be how many elements you want to delete it. Splice is generally for delete it. So you start with the index, this one, and then you say how many elements you want to delete it, 1 element. And the third part will be once you delete it, what you want to replace it with. So I want to replace it with this object. So I will use this object. So what will happen here? It will start with the index, that is this index. It will delete 1, that is it will delete this object here. And then it will add the new object which we got from the server. This is the new object which we got from the server. The objected one will be here. After this, I will try to see what is the value of the array. Because as far as my understanding, it will delete this part and it will replace with this object, and I should get in the array 2 elements only, but the second element should have the name of the C. So when I do the console.log, it should show me C. Let me enter it. So it finds the index. Index is not 1, so we update it, and we got the value of C in the second case. Let's try to run this again by passing it D. And then we will see the second part has become D. Let's try to update it with ID 1 with the value of K. Now I'm passing ID 1, so this will get updated. So it has updated with the K. So here we are finding the index, and here we are updating. That is, we are deleting that part and we are replacing with the new object. That is what we are doing it here. So this is the part we have to do it in this one also. 1 second. So this is very frequent thing which we do every day. So once you go through it and we do multiple times, it will be easy for you to understand. This is the first time many people are doing, so it may not be very easy for you. Okay, so let's try to do okay, so we need to update the results part. So to do the results part, let's try to get the results part first as in a separate array. So I can say constant results is equal to st.results or st.results. So what I'm taking the copy of this results here. Now my variable is results. I will manipulate with the results. So instead of putting st.results, I will say results. Then I will loop through it, and this array will be nothing but this results. So I'll use this results dot splice. Index is correct. We are getting the index here. One element is correct, and object which we are getting this new object. And after everything is done, we have this results with the updated value. So we will say results equal to results. Okay, so what we said, take the current st, that is take this current st, and then update the results with this results. Is this part clear? We only did this st. Now in the object, these two results are same name. So I many times confuse myself which results is what. So I don't want to keep the name same. So maybe I can say res. Okay. So for my purpose, my personal purpose, I don't want to keep the name same. Okay, let's go do it here. So we find the index here, and then we use the splice to delete the old array object and replace with the new one. Okay, and then we updated the results with the new one. We don't need to update the count here in the update because count will remain same. Let's try to do this update part. Okay, let me update this to, you will see that there is a second. Let's change this to second, second. Okay, once I press enter, watch here. Once I press enter, see it got here changed. Let me change this to first. Once I click enter, you will see it got updated here. So it was not done without the refresh. It is done automatically with this calculation, with this subscription. Okay, so we are done with the update part. Let's do the delete part now. So this update is done. Now let's try to do the delete part. Delete part means we need to remove the element from here. We have to decrease the count. So to remove the element, we can take same thing from the update, what we did update, but we will not the add object. We'll just delete it. So let's take same thing here in the delete part. Only change which we will do is we will not add object, because in edit we need to update the object, but here we need to delete it. Splice means it will delete it, and we delete with this result one. Also we need to update the count. So I will say count is equal to st count, st.count minus 1. So whatever count was there, it will reduce by 1. So update and delete are same. Only thing is we don't need to add this object in here. And we will update with the new result which we get here, and count has to be reduced. In the update we don't reduce the count. So let's try to do the delete part. Let's test the delete part. Okay, so you will see, let me refresh this again. I have to refresh again and again because of one issue, that subscription is created multiple times, which we will see how to fix it tomorrow. Okay, so I'll delete one of them and we will see here what is happening. So let's delete the fifth one. Now you observe here, fifth one. It's gone. Let's delete the fourth one. It's gone. Let's delete multiple, all of them. All are gone. Is that clear? And count is also returned to 0. Okay, so we did, okay, 1 second. We did create part, which was pretty much straightforward. We update the count with the previous count plus 1, and whatever results were there, we added one result here. So this one is straightforward. In the update, we get the object, and based on the object which we get, we loop through the results, and we check if we get index equal to -1. If we get index equal to -1, we delete that record and update it with the new object. And then we update the state. We don't need to update the count here. In the delete, we find the index, and we took this result in the new variable so that I can manipulate it here. And I took the index based on the object which we get, if it's equal to any of this object in the result. And that we don't update it, we just delete it with this step. And we update the count and the results here. So this pretty much, this functionality will be same when we try to do another project, create, update and delete. We'll have the same functionality. We don't have to write any other code when we try to work on the next project. This part will remain same. And this part will remain also same. Okay, so the only thing is remaining, we are done with the subscription. The only thing is remaining is, I will do it now, let's do it now. If I try to save it, let's say if I try to save it multiple times. Now what happened? This subscription is created again and again. So if I try to add now, let's see, if I try to add now. Let's add the new row. Title is XYZ. Description is ABC. And we click add. Okay, right now it has not created, but there are some circumstances. You saw a few minutes back that a lot of things were coming here, right? It was happening a lot of time. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Okay, refresh sometimes. Let me try to edit it again. Okay, so right now it comes first one time only, but when you have bigger project, or sometimes the subscription gets created again and again, and so you will get multiple times of create object, multiple times update record. Though you will update only one time, it will call this multiple times because subscription is created multiple times. So we need to avoid that. So let's try to avoid that here. Wait 1 second. Okay, that part I will show you tomorrow. I don't want you to do the burden of that one. So today we will do this much only. Before we close, I want you to write down this function, and delete function. Write down here and then call the function here in the subscription. You have written the subscription yesterday. You need to create these three functions. Okay, so just create these three functions and then we'll close today. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to create these three functions, write these three functions. Okay. On the right side, we have delete record, and on the left side, we have create record and update record. Finish these three, and then I will scroll down for you to call this one. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to finish this. So object ID in the path server is created automatically. You cannot change it to 1, 2, 3. You can change it manually. I'm not sure if it allows. Let me check. I am not 100% sure if path server allows that one. But it generally creates its own ID. Let's try to see if we can edit this to 1, 2, 3. I don't think they will allow. Yeah, it's not allowing it. Yeah. Once object ID is created, you cannot change it to 1, 2, or 3 in the path server. They create it in own way. Is it done? So if you're done creating the functions, you can call this function in the subscription part. Create record for the enter and create, for update record, or leave, delete, or delete record. Okay, so there is one more thing we need to fix it. I will do it tomorrow. That one I told you. Okay, sorry. So yeah, my routing component is there. Here my routing component is there. So there is one more thing remaining, which I told you, that the subscription sometimes is created multiple times, and that is not good, and we need to fix that part. So that part I'll do tomorrow, because that is something new concept. I don't want to. I don't want to put brain on that thing today. Render every time is what? Whenever.
Uh, Sir, just want to confirm, we have created my routing component. So if I need window.location.path name, it will update it every time.
If you put.
I'm trying this on my routing. After login, it is not rendering.
After login, it's not rendering. So generally, you're talking about path name. Path name is changed whenever you go from one path to another path.
Yes, suppose I have, yes, but in our project we are just logged in and moved to the home page, right?
And you don't use this window.location.path name. Okay, so in the login, we use props.history.push.
Okay, but I need some condition on app.js or my routing.js. It will not work there.
What condition you want to put there?
Suppose I want to show navigation once user logged in.
Okay, so
Before logged in, I don't want to show.
okay, so for that, I did this last year. I have not shown that thing now this year.
Layout something.
Yeah, so we need to render the layout. I will just show you something, but that is to be, we need to We need
So
to,
this way, we can't do this way?
there is only one way to do that one. You cannot, or you know, based on path name, you want to change it like that, you're saying.
Yes. If I will get the, after login, if I get the path, I don't want to show navigation on the login register page. So I put the condition as per the path.
Okay, let me see if we can do that. 1 second, let me see if I can do, let's see what props is coming. Console.log. So you want to put that in the myRender component, right? That one in the routing component, right? So that your navigation is there. You don't want to show. Yeah, you want to put
Yes, sir.
navigation here.
But my
Like
yes,
that,
sir.
let's say
I have added condition here.
yeah, so navigation, show navigation here, for example. Okay, so you put it here, and based on the path, you don't want to show when it is login page or when it is
Register
register
page.
page, but on other pages you want to show this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so navigation is coming here. Okay, so
It's working after login when I hit the refresh. Otherwise, it's not working.
right, because we are not going inside it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, because we are not rendering the my routing again, so you are not getting it. That's why we need to use that layout routing. So I was able to see the master. Let's log in. Yeah, so we are going to home page because the page is not refreshed. My routing is not refreshed. Therefore, this one is going like this one. So yeah, so that's the thing. We need to use that way only, the one which I showed last year. I will show that also this year also. But if you remember, or if you have done that, if you have that code, use that one rather than this one. We never use generally this, JavaScript command like window dot location dot path name. This is something core JavaScript. We try to avoid that one. But here the thing is, my routing is not re-rendered that time. So so we don't get that, we cannot do it with the window dot location dot path name. We need to create the routing. Once we are inside it, let's say let's say I'm going to the login page.
Okay, can we do that like this? Suppose I have variable in Redux and I will, once user logged in, I will false that variable, no, false that state in Redux, and then we can work.
You will do that false in the Redux. Okay. I have to try it. I don't know.
Okay, I will check.
Yeah, you will try it.
Okay.
But that is the best thing. You create the layout. That is
Layout,
why
got
it
it.
has been created.
Got it.
You know, anywhere if you search for this problem, this internet, this is the only thing they mention how to create this one.
Oh.
So if I go here, console.log, for example, props. So if I go to login again, so this props has location.pathname, and then you can here inside, inside, not in the routing, because this one uses this routing part, so we have the control of this path name. So whenever the path name changes, we are aware, we can get it in the props. But you are talking outside this path, then it is not possible. It may be possible. I'm not aware of that thing because I generally use that layout path kind of thing.
Okay. That's why I'm saying that I will use the redirect so that I can true or false in the login once user logged in. The login component will render and it will true or false the redux.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and we need to do it. If it's working logically, your thing
Okay.
is correct and looks correct. So you
Okay.
can
I will
try
check. Sir.
and see it.
I will check. Got
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, we do it this way, the path, which I will show you soon
Okay.
in few days.
Layout time. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Any
Thank you.
other questions?